Hi, Johnny Burgin here with another Chicago Blues guitar lesson. You know, I was having a long chat with a student about learning songs note for note and how far to take that and what is the reason for that, you know. I'm always a big fan of Jason Ritchie's videos, and he talks about learning note for note sometimes to see what it feels like. And I do like that idea. I think you're it's like when you study philosophy, you read people's arguments and follow the way they argued a point, not, memorize the point itself. The process is the most important thing. So you learn the process of how to be a better improviser by learning, like really studying about how someone else did it. You might be playing a song, you might be playing your own song, but you might be playing a song that everybody knows how it goes. As Wayne Bennett said, you don't want to hurt their feelings. They expect it. But the audience kind of wants two contradictory things. They want to hear it played right. They want to hear those little peaks and valleys that they've come to expect, those little moments of payoff moments. But they also want to see you do your thing. So I feel like you've got to play it note for a while and then leave a spot for you to be yourself. And who is yourself? Only you can answer that. It's a tricky one. So I was thinking about a song, Liverpool Drive, and I'm not exactly going to do it note for note, but one thing that's interesting is how all these positions connect. It's in C. So if you've got a C here, then you got a C here. This is the first inversion. Then your 4 might be here. The C-shaped chord, the old cowboy chord, all the way up here on the 8th fret. Then here, back to your 1. Let's make it a C6. Can you see that? And then a G9th, and then a C all the way up here, which is the cowboy chord, all the way up here, 12, 13, 12. And then he has a way of doing some really cool stuff. I use this a lot, these kind of things. So he goes like this. So he starts out with this C. And he's already linking positions together, like I just played a C bar chord like this. So 12 and 13. And that's 13 and 15. And then 15 and 17 on the E and B strings. And now he's coming back here. You could do it here, but he doesn't do it there, I don't think. There's some song like 5 Spot or something where it's like anyway, I'm forgetting that. And then this always makes me want to keep going. So anyway, that's my own little free association. But this is 8 and 8, top part of this C chord. And this is a nice place to play. You can go. That's what Barney Kessel does. So does Buddy Guy. Yeah. So far. Whoa. So you could finger that in a lot of ways, but I would just use these 2 fingers. And then that leaves your second finger if you want to go. I'm looking for my whammy bar. It's not on this guitar. That's not in the song. And then the only thing that's in the song is what we just talked about. Now dig this. See this shape of your 3 frets apart? just do the same thing with your first finger and pinky on the D and G string. Oh, it's pretty cool. So now, when we went to the 4, he just played an F chord. So inside that F chord, if you picture a scale, guess what? Here's the note, the third of that chord. Pretty nifty, huh? It's very big bandy, isn't he? It's another, you know, this is kind of an idiosyncratic, as like everything Chuck Berry did. You know, he did it all his own way, and is in kind of there's a devil may care way to it, you know. But it's an adaptation and reaction to the big band stuff, right? It is to me, anyway. So I just walked right up. And then we're going back to the 1. It's very Charlie Christian-y too, isn't it? Like, you know. Anyway, I think it's kind of Charlie Christian-y. So he's playing inside this nice chord, which I like this chord. In fact, I used it last week, and I did the best I could. So now it's different chord. We're going to go back to C. Think your C and play this, the root and the 7th, with your first finger and pinky. And now we're doing the same thing out of a G. It's the same. And then the same thing out of the bottom of a C chord with the 5th on the bottom. Now you might hear this. A 9th chord to end it. So, whole deal. This is just the coolest song. This is a fun song to improvise on. I guess I didn't finger it the way I said. C, G, back to C. And then that's pretty not that bad. So I'm playing in front of this C chord, like in front of it, with my first finger on the 5th fret. And then a C6 chord. Same thing over the 5. I mean over the 4 chord. This stuff is fun. And then you got to just reach your first finger back. It's very unpentatonic, right? It sounds like, you know, nice chords. There's a really cool part where he goes, let's see if I can remember this part. C6 stuff. That's cool. And then that's cool. So, and that's unusual sound. So that is, let me back up. So this is the section, this is early on in the song, and he does it a couple times. That's a 6, and then just a C7th, or just the middle of a C chord. Let's see, here we go. Here we go. So he's playing out of a F7. The 7th and the 1, as best as I can tell. And then this part of a 4 chord. That's cool. It's almost like a little mini song within a song. Or it sounds like a riff just waiting to go. Or that's the tricky one, huh? Whole thing slow. Finger this one of two ways. Or you could play it out of this voicing, the C, all the way up here to make a G. But I kind of like this too. Yeah, I've seen Chuck Berry twice. And they were both really great experiences, and you never knew what was going to happen next. Not even close. So exciting. And the Chicago Blues Festival, he did this thing where he had everybody come up and dance at the end, and it was just so cool. Fun song, Liverpool Drive. Really like it. It's fun to think about the insides of these chords, you know. You could do your own things with it, you know. Like... You know who used to really play some really cool stuff like that was Jimmie Lee Robinson on songs like Twisted Baby, which is like... I'm in A now. And then you go... But then he just played these ninth chords. Twisted baby, buy a diamond ring. And then you go... And then right in the middle of that he go, ow! He'd do this like blood-curdling scream. I can't even possibly do it. He'd be like... But that's the same thing. But he managed to make it really menacing. And then, of course, most of you guys are familiar like with the way LittleJohn... I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. But most of you guys have heard that Holy Grail blues record, the Johnny LittleJohn Chicago Blues All-Stars. I guess it's got to be an A. And where it goes. So, I mean, it works as a turnaround, and Mighty Joe Young uses that too. It's just Chuck Berry made a whole song out of it. Anyway, I just transposed it to A. That's enough for today. That was a lot of fun. If you have some Chuck Berry memories, I'm going to get into some Chuck Berry in a way deeper way down the road. There's so many fascinating tunes he did. So much cool guitar playing. It's like, where do you start? I'm going to definitely pick out some cool deep cuts. I like some of his songs like Beautiful Delilah. There's so many good ones. It's just a treasure trove. So if you have some Chuck Berry memories, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join me on Patreon for weekly guitar chats. And take care and see you next time.